A child sees their parents as superheroes, capable of protecting them from any danger. But as the child grows, they realize their parents can barely shield them from much at all, and that humans are fragile. Freud believed that even as adults, many of us continue searching for that same feeling of safety we had in childhood, and that religion is one way of keeping that need alive. For Freud, religion emerged as a practical response to human fears. Imagine living in a world where diseases, natural disasters, and death seem to strike without any reason. Without scientific explanations, people looked for answers in something greater. Gods, spirits, invisible forces. It wasn't just curiosity. It was an emotional necessity. Religion offered protection, gave meaning to suffering, and promised that life had a purpose. Freud saw this as very similar to what happens during childhood. When we're little, our parents seem all-powerful. They protect us, teach us, solve our problems. Religion, according to him, is a continuation of that mechanism. The difference is that instead of visible parents, adults project this protective figure onto invisible, eternal beings. Important note, Freud wasn't saying religion was silly or useless. Quite the opposite. He acknowledged that it served important social functions, giving life meaning, creating moral codes, strengthening communities. But for him, the root of faith wasn't rational proof. It was a deep emotional need. When Freud calls religion an illusion, he's not just saying it's a lie or a mistake. For him, an illusion is any belief born from a wish. Something we want so badly that we accept it as true, even without evidence. Just like a child believes their parents will always protect them, the adult human, according to Freud, creates and maintains religious beliefs to feel safer in the face of life's uncertainties. That doesn't mean he thought people were naive or incapable. In his view, believing made sense. It was a way to cope with fears that are often hard to even put into words. An illusion in this case is an emotional attempt to give form and meaning to a chaotic and scary world. Freud also pointed out that simply presenting evidence against a belief isn't enough to make it disappear. An illusion doesn't collapse under the weight of reason because it wasn't born from reason in the first place. It came from need. The big question he raises is, could people ever face reality without this kind of emotional support? Freud didn't think religion would just vanish overnight. He knew deeply rooted beliefs don't disappear just because someone makes a logical argument. For him, the change would be slow, and would depend mainly on education and the progress of scientific knowledge. In the future, Freud imagined people would be increasingly taught to deal with reality in a mature way, accepting uncertainty, suffering, and death without needing supernatural explanations. The idea was to replace the emotional comfort of religion with a greater commitment to truth, even when the truth is uncomfortable. But he also recognized it wouldn't be easy, nor would it work for everyone. Religion still, and probably always will, plays a powerful emotional role. It comforts, gives life meaning, builds community. Taking that away without offering new human and social alternatives would, in his view, be dangerous. That's why Freud saw the future of religion more as a transformation than a destruction. Over time, beliefs might lose their grip, but they would continue to exist as long as people needed that emotional support. In the end, he leaves us with the question that's still very much alive today. How far can we really go relying only on reason? Just to be clear, Freud didn't hate religious people, nor was he a militant atheist. He genuinely tried to understand why we need religion so much. To him, believing in higher powers was a way to confront our own fragility, something that starts in childhood and often stays with us for life. He wasn't judging anyone for believing. He was analyzing how and why this need arises and what it reveals about the human mind. Whether you agree or disagree, these questions are still super relevant. Do we really need illusions to get through life? Or can we find meaning without them? Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'm curious to hear your take. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed this deep dive and hit subscribe for more content like this.